Hello and welcome to this video on styling a root over rock bonsai tree. Root over rock is a common style of bonsai which is very attractive. This is the first video which will begin showing you how you can create your own tree in the style of root over rock. The first step is to choose a species with known abilities to survive with exposed roots. You also want a tree with a lot of root growth. Trees that have been grown in a pot for a long time are good candidates. Even pot-bound trees are a good option. The method behind this madness will be apparent later. As you can see, a well-developed root over rock will leave the roots exposed. These eventually callus over and form into an extension of the trunk. Some species will do this with more ease, whilst others will not. Now that you have selected a tree of some sort, this example here is a solitary root that can be trained in root over rock style. You may have better or worse stock. Some species such as fig, juniper, elm and more are better suited to this style. For the purposes of this video, a coprosma is being used. Here you can see a fig that has formerly been trained as a root over rock style, and after damage has been repurposed. Rather obviously, you will need a rock. If possible, select one that has natural channels or cracks which you can fit the roots into. This rock has such a channel which cuts down and across. You will also want potting mix, sand, grafting tape, fertilizer, a large pot and a tray. Begin by placing a layer of potting mix in your pot. This will be important later. Mix this with fertilizer. Next, you want to take your tree and remove the soil. Find the roots you will use later as the over rock focus. This tree has both a long trailing root that will be used and a cluster of fine roots near the trunk base. Lay your roots over the rock. Here it is easily done because the rock has a natural place for the root to fit into. You now need to fix the roots in place. This is being done with tape. It breaks down very quickly, leaving behind the sticky glue residue. This forms a meshwork around the roots with the sand. This keeps the roots where they should be for the next few weeks to months. Different approaches exist when dealing with these fixed roots. Alternatives include using muck or clay. They all have the following in common: something which keeps the roots moist, keeps the roots in the dark, and provides support to keep the rock upright. This is where that earlier mentioned potting mix comes in useful. In this case, the pot has a large layer of potting mix which the rock has been set in. The root is being positioned, and the tree is sitting well above the potting mix. The space in between where the tree sits and where the potting mix is where the root over rock focus will be. This is filled with sand. A coarse, sharp sand is used to keep the root moist initially and allow it to dry out slowly. This is important as a fast change will kill the root and everything below. A slow drying process may cause the root to rot. Sand addresses this problem and other concerns. These other concerns include other purposes, such as the weight forces the root against the rock, which helps it to grow in and around the cracks. This furthers adherence. The pot is topped up with some more potting mix to keep the roots at the top, which support the tree for now alive and nourished. This will gradually be removed to encourage lower growth. This is also where the potting mix on the bottom is important. It supports the lower growth and enables the tree to be fixed around the base of the rock. The next thing you need is a tray under your tree. This tray will be where you add water going forwards. The water will wick upwards and encourage root growth downwards. This will retard the drying sand. Over time, the lower root growth will thicken this root. The potting mix on top will be removed, as will the roots right below the trunk base. After this is completed, the sand will gradually be removed. This will cause the root to callus over, like the tree first pictured, and appear more like a solid branch or trunk. This is a very simple example of how to begin root over rock styling. It uses one root. but the process is the same for multiple. Gradual hardening of the outer root via sand and encouraging growth at the base of the rock. This will give you a solid tree to begin with. The next stage of creating a root over rock style will be covered in the near future. Thank you for watching this video. If it has been of interest, consider liking, sharing and subscribing. Please post any comments, questions or suggestions below.